Shalom, Akim.
Shalom, shalom.
Start off by giving all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Makakodash. You know, as through the spirit, you know, as you heading down to the camp, you know, gonna do a little filming. You know, there's all different kind of things going on in the world. You know, things leading towards the end time prophecy, end time prophecies, I should say.
Okay.
You know, the river Euphrates, they saying that it's fully dried up. Okay, which we know proceeding to the book of Revelation, the 16th chapter, around the 12th verse, that
making a way for the kings of the
making a way for the kings of the east. Okay, so what's going to happen is that a land battle is going to be fought where the river Euphrates once was, and they're finding all different kind of things up under the river Euphrates as it's drying up now. You see what I'm saying?
All kind of caves and all kind
of caves, treasures, so on and so forth, things that were lost. You know, but
big ass statues, heads, and all that.
But the main thing is that that land battle is going to be fought over there. Hey, because we're living in a time of war. We know that World War III been brewing. All right, people been speaking about World War III for quite some time, but it's been prophesied years ago in the book of Revelation about one woe has passed, and behold, two woes cometh hereafter. Now, when you read the book of Revelation, the 9th chapter, it goes all into the first woe. It tells you about the dog fighters, it tells you about them locusts. The locusts are talking about the dog fighters.
The airplanes and dog fighters, yeah.
Then it tell you about the stings in the back of their tails.
Which were them guns.
Which were the guns that were in the back of the dog fighter. You had certain pilots and certain dog fighter pilots, and you had their gunners that were in there that was shooting those guns up out of the back of the dog fighters, man. So everything was already, you know, portrayed in the scriptures before it came to pass. And when you go into it, you read about the who was it, the Wright brothers that created the airplanes.
Yep.
They created those airplanes
in 1901,
right before, you know, not too long after World War III
like
came.
13 years later.
World War III came in later on. So and 13 is a spiritual number. You see what I'm saying? So now we're living in the time of World War III.
That's right.
That's the two woes that came in the past that was supposed to come. We're talking about World War II and of course World War III, which we're living in the time of World War III. You want to expound on what you're going into
because
Sudan?
Because you know Sudan, you really wouldn't know what's going on with Sudan, right? All right. Now, back in 2020, the Iranian, not the Iranian government, the Russian government, them and the Sudanese government, they came to an agreement where they signed a contract whereas they was going to build a naval base there for Russia. The Russian government was going to build a naval base in southern Sudan. You know, but what happened was the American government kept on stalling them, and finally they reached an agreement. Russia and the Sudanese government reached an agreement, and now they're building a naval base there. All of a sudden now, it's regional war breaks out, you know, over in Sudan, and you ain't hear nothing about Sudan having any kind of war. Now there's upwards of the people because they sent in them jackals to try to assassinate
Vladimir Putin.
Not only that, but over the Sudanese government, they tried to assassinate that guy too, but they both got away. So now, let me tell you this right here. You know, both nations know that America got their hand in it because of the naval bases, which was the Sudanese government and the Russian government came to an agreement on.
Right.
And America was vehemently against that. You know? But yeah, here it is, Slucky, real quick. Here it is, the hypocrisy of the American government. You know, you don't want the naval base of the Russian government in Sudan, but you allowing NATO to want to join. You allowing Ukraine to want to join NATO,
right?
And this and another thing that happened.
Hypocrisy.
Another thing that happened that they didn't put it on the mainstream media that got leaked in the government files. 300 troops in the underground bunker got destroyed by the Kinzhal missile from Russia, hypersonic missile from Russia, a deep underground bunker that destroyed a lot of Ukrainian troops, Polish troops, British troops, and American troops, British troops, Ukrainian troops, Polish troops. So if Ukraine is not a part of NATO, by all them different NATO troops, Polish troops, British troops, you know, Ukrainian troops and American troops was in that bunker that got destroyed.
Well,
Over 300 get killed. Over 300 got killed.
Well, the whole thing about it is that's the whole reason why Russia went at Ukraine so hard, and they pretty much started a war with them because they were once a part of the USSR. Now here it is, you want to join forces with the arch enemy. But anyway, we already covered that plenty of times. Going back to the thing where Sudan and Russia are now getting close together, that goes into the prophecy of Ezekiel the 38th chapter. All right?
That's right.
Where it speaks about Ethiopia, Persia and Ethiopia with them, all right? Which Persia is talking about Iran, okay? And guess what? You Sudanese want to call yourselves Sudanese. Guess what? You're all Ethiopians, man. All right? You're all Cushites. When you go back, now you got in them regions, because when you go back to the sons of Ham, right? You have Put, which is North Africa, right?
That's right.
You got Mizraim or Matazarium, which is talking about Egypt. You got Cush or Ethiopia, okay? That's what it's talking about. And then you got Canaan, which is talking about the southern portion, right, of Africa. Guess what? When you talk about the Sudanese, when you talk about Eritrea, you know what I'm saying? All them Cushites in that area, they all Ethiopians, man. So whether you doing deals with Sudan or not, you know what I'm saying? They're all Cushites. It all goes into the prophecy of Ezekiel the 38th chapter.
And he's going to be a guard unto them.
And he's going to be a guard unto them. Who you think these smaller nations are going to get their missiles from? Their fighter jets, their rocket launchers, their assault rifles and whatnot. These smaller nations, they don't have the you know what I'm saying, the funding to purchase in wartime. So they're going to go to the superpower. Russia's going to be a guard unto these nations, man.
And you got to look at something. Iran and Russia, that land, not Russia per se, not the Edomites per se, but the land of the Medes. They are spiritually connected to the Iranians because they are the Persians.
Yeah.
So, and in the scriptures, they are called Carmanians, the Iranians.
The Carmanians, raging in wrath.
Those are the Iranians, the Persians, man. That's right. You see? So, hey man, we post some heavy times, man, and then we see what's going on throughout the four corners of the earth, upwards of the people. That's why you ought to measure the times diligently in itself. But Jake ain't doing that. Jake is in a party, mirth type spirit, you know what I'm saying? Whereas they're going to get caught off guard.
Yeah, I'm going to read the scripture right fast. This is and this whole chapter is good. Isaiah 13:1. The burden of Babylon, which the word burden means something that's heavy upon you, something that's weighing upon you,
Good.
Which Isaiah the son of Amos did see. Lift ye up a banner upon the high mountain.
And what's that banner? The banner is these scriptures, man.
That's right.
Us going out there in the highways and the byways pushing the word of the Lord Yahweh, while Yahweh shot.
And that high mountain is talking about the American government,
That's
man.
right. That's right. You better believe it.
Exalt the voice unto them, shake the hand, that they may go into the gates of the nobles.
And that didn't happen yet, but guess what?
No, it happened.
In a sense, it has happened spiritually because these elites are listening to and watching the videos.
Well, the whole thing about it happened. It happened in the ancient times.
But
that's why the expulsion of the Jews came about. Because the same thing we doing now is what our forefathers, or I should say, what we were doing back then as well.
Because we are forefathers.
Because we are our forefathers. The spirit of the prophets is subject unto the prophets. So the same way we going out there giving them hell, telling them that this place is going down, telling them that America is doomed, telling them that they're going into slavery, things of that nature, telling them that Yahweh Shai is getting ready to come back and judge them, is the same thing that we were doing back then. And that's the reason why we got expelled out of Rome. They went to the Caesars. Oh, you got to get these goddamn these Jews off the street corners, man.
They're troublemakers.
They troublemakers, man. They're menaces. They causing all kind of strife going on. They talking about this, that, and the other, about this society collapsing. All right? We love Rome. You know what I'm saying? That's what they were doing. That's what we were doing. We were condemning the place, man.
So now,
just like we are now.
So now you on the spiritual level, what's happening now, but on the physical level, it's going to happen again. Us going in front of the gates of the nobles. It'll probably be the apostles, that go in front of the gates of the nobles.
Whoever it is, man. Whoever it is. It says, I have commanded my sanctified ones.
Which are the prophets.
Yep. I have also called my mighty ones for mine anger.
Which are the angels, man. Which is going to do the bidding of the Lord Yahweh, Yahweh Shah.
And they doing the bidding of the Lord right now. Who you think's over there stirring up the minds of these nations for war?
That's right.
It's the angels, man.
That's right.
The angels are doing that, man. Thoughts come in your mind. As a matter of fact, in Ezekiel 38, it tells you that that time shall an evil thought come in that mind. Who you think is putting them thoughts in people's minds? The angels, man. Just like how you got the whole thing where you got the angel on the right hand and the devil on the left hand. Guess what? The angel could put thoughts in your mind too, whispering things into your ear to do this, to push you, to guide you in the direction that the Lord wants you to go in, man.
And when you go into the book of his Second Ezra in the Apocrypha, it's an account whereas the angel told Ezra that he was stood that the king of Persia was stood on. He was working on the mind of the king of the Persians, and they had stronger minds back then. So he was working on their minds, you know.
That's right. It says, Salaki. It says, even them that rejoice in my highness, the noise of a multitude in the mountains like as of a great people, a tumultuous noise of the kingdoms of nations gathered together. The Lord of hosts mustereth the host of the battle. That's
going into Jeremiah the 50th chapter, the 9th verse.
That's going into
that assembly of great nations.
That's going into World War III. The nations gathered together, and that's also going into nuclear destruction, man.
That's right.
Okay, because that's how this war is going to be ended. All right, it's going to be ended in a nuclear blast, man. Nuclear blaze, in which America will be wholly destroyed. All right. It says. They come from a far country, from the end of heaven, even the Lord, and the weapons of his indignation to destroy the whole land.
What's the Lord's weapons? What's the weapons of the Lord's indignation? Thermonuclear missiles.
Super hypersonic ballistic missiles, man.
Joel, the 2nd and the 3rd chapter, man.
Joel, like you said, Jeremiah 50
Jeremiah
51,
Jeremiah
the whole
51.
chapter.
Exactly.
All right. Spare ye no arrows.
Isaiah the 34th chapter.
Isaiah the 34th chapter exclusively deals with World War III. Okay. You see what I'm saying? These are the times that's coming, man. And you people thinking, you know, that things are all honky-dory. Things are just gonna
go back to normal.
Go back to normal, and you just living your petty lives, man.
This is the new normal.
Little do you people know that upon a sudden, the Lord could just turn your whole world upside down, man.
I gotta watch out for these fucking things they got over here.
Yep. It says they come from a far country, from the end of heaven, meaning what? They're gonna come from the other side of the world over to this side of the world. Russia's gonna shoot nuclear missiles. Iran is gonna shoot nuclear missiles.
North Korea,
China, okay, and even
India,
America's allies. Pakistan, India, Israel, they all gonna be shooting nuclear missiles off, man. All right? And the Lord says in our Revelation, the 17th chapter, that they're gonna turn on the whore. These other nations are gonna turn on this fucking whore they call America and eat her flesh with fire.
And eat her flesh and burn her with fire.
And burn her with fire. How's that gonna happen? When they end up shooting, they say, man, fuck it, man. America calls all this shit on us any damn way. Fuck it. Shoot nuclear missiles on her.
That's that assembly of great nations. They all gonna do it at once. So America's gonna be overwhelmed. Even though they're gonna shoot missiles off back, but they're gonna be overwhelmed.
They're gonna get some shit off, but they're gonna get hit with the brunt of the blows, man. They're gonna get hit hard. You know, this place is gonna get hit hard.
That's right.
It says they come from a far country, from the end of heaven, even the Lord, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, and the weapons of his indignation to destroy the whole land. Howl ye, for the day of the Lord is at hand. It shall come as a destruction from the Almighty. Hey. So when you people talking about the day of the Lord is at hand, people think about a goddamn picnic. He said, as a destruction from the Almighty. That's the day of the Lord, man. When you go into Zephaniah, what's that, 1 and 14? Got the light. When you go to Zephaniah 1 and 14, that's what it tell you, man.
To do the great day of the Lord.
The great day of the Lord hasted greatly. You know, even the voice of the day of the Lord.
And you got to understand something too. The Lord created these scientists to create these weapons. He put the spirit on these scientists to create these weapons. Isaiah the 54th chapter, the 16th and the 17th verse.
Mm-hmm.
So you people don't have a clue. You're thinking that Esau is almighty, that he created these. No, the Most High put the spirit on these devils to create this such technology to destroy themselves. Because they was given the blessing of the sword by Isaac, which is Yahweh Shai, our forefather. But guess what? The same blessing that Yahweh Shai gave him when he was Isaac, the same blessing, the same man is going to come back and take that blessing from them.
Well, guess what? What did Yahweh Shai tell Peter when Peter picked up the sword and smote off the ear of Malchus? He said, those that live by the sword die by the same. So if Esau was blessed by the sword, how's he going to go out? He was blessed with the sword. That's how this man lives. He lives by that sword, man. How did he conquer nations? Did our forefather Abraham go to the lands of the heathen and slaughter them and take the land? No, he purchased it, man. All right, righteously. So nobody can't say nothing when you do something righteously, man. But when you do something unjustly, people got all this shit to say about you in the world. And that's why America's this is a smear campaign on this place to this day. All right, because you have dealt treacherously. You know what I'm saying? And what the scripture say? When ye shall see some dealing treacherously, then they shall deal treacherously with thee. That's what's going to happen.
That's right.
Now the Heavenly Father's going to smite the bow and the sword out of your hand, and the mother nation's going, oh yeah, we got him now.
That's
we
right.
got his power is gone. We got him. Let's get him now.
Why do you think all these nations are bucking up?
Do you dirty?
Why do you think all these nations bucking up and doing away with the dollar and signing with China and Russia? They seeing the strippers going over this, so they going over like, fuck it, we going where the strippers at.
Well, yeah, that's right. And it's all spiritual because, yo, man, ain't nothing else going on. Ain't nothing else gonna happen. Ain't nothing else going on, man. Okay? The economy of America, is dwindling. Now you got 19 more nations that want to join the BRICS nations, man.
And it's going to be even more that want to join the BRICS nations.
They see America is finished, man. If they don't see America is finished, they don't know what the hell is going on, man.
I don't see the both of us.
Yeah, they over there. They down there up under that awning over there. Yeah, they're up over there.
I see them, yeah. Hey, so with that, we had our destination. Abu Ratazayu Akhtam was edified. We're going to give all praise to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah, Ba'ashem, Wakakwadash, double honors
to the elect.
Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom.
Shalom, Akim.